What you got over there, man?
Well, I got a couple things, but I don't know if my hungry stomach because of our lacking breakfast.
That breakfast was a hot damn mess.
So we've been in many hotels, and they've had breakfasts, and they've said on their things, English breakfast or continental breakfast or whatever, but it never mattered because they always had things that were local things on the buffet or even in the hot foods. They had other stuff, but you could basically get an English breakfast for the most part, or you could get a continental breakfast for the most part because all the stuff was there. But they also had then the local foods. But today, the local food was an English breakfast.
And they didn't have any other options. So
Well, because English breakfast.
they really normally there's stuff for toast and bagels and cereal and fruits.
They had a bread though, didn't they?
It was that bread from the plane, that little hard ass roll thing.
Oh, I didn't eat
I
that.
didn't see any bread on the
It was-
plane, but
It was in that cardboard box that had the food in it.
Yeah, I didn't even look at
That was
that.
that meal.
So
Yes, you did.
normally they have
I
like
sort of looked at
You
it.
opened it, took a glance, and went, "I'm done with it.
yeah, I don't even know what
Just
that.
handed
That
it back
didn't
to
even.
us.
That didn't even look edible.
it was an eggplant parmesan salad, which I'm not eating because it's cold and I don't eat things like that cold.
But what was you? So you didn't eat it either?
I didn't eat it. Keegan said it was nice.
Keegan was the only one that ate.
And then there was a kale and mango salad.
I had the brownie that was in there.
You mean they had people on a plane and they gave everybody salads?
It was a cold eggplant parm.
That's
Well, the parm. That means I couldn't eat it anyway.
And then
Yeah.
there was a bread roll. And everything was super cold. So the bread roll was really hard. It took me like 10 minutes to eat the bread roll because I was like trying to.
Did you put butter on it?
Of course I did.
So you took your cold roll and put.
The crumbly ass cold butter. And the reason that we didn't eat
cold
the
butter on my cold roll.
the reason we didn't even eat the breakfast because they gave you a breakfast little thing with a croissant and yogurt.
You didn't eat that either?
No, because the
Oh my
croissants
God.
were so hard. They were frozen.
Oh, mine, because I kept mine, and mine wasn't hard. I ate it.
By the time it got here,
Well, last night you ate it.
I ate it at like 12 o'clock in the morning.
It was
Well,
so
that's what I'm
hard.
saying.
It was like frozen. You couldn't.
Yeah, you had to give it some
I'm
time
so glad
to,
I
to
didn't miss
loosen up.
anything. Oh, that's so
The brownie
funny.
was nice.
The brownie was nice.
It was
The
soft.
brownie?
It was soft, and
Whatever.
And then I
In
was.
other words,
I
vegans don't eat
I didn't
during COVID.
I didn't catch
Vegans
the,
don't eat during travel.
Right. I didn't catch because did the captain say when you were supposed to take your mask off to eat?
Just when your row got their food, then
Yeah,
you
maybe.
could take your
Yeah.
mask off. But then they did make an announcement saying, "Okay, everybody's done eating. Please put your mask back on."
Yeah, I heard that,
Oh, I
and then
didn't
I
know.
was like, wait, when was I supposed to take it off? So
To
then
eat.
I took the brownie and I took it out of the package and opened the bottom of my mask and just went and just stuck the whole thing in my mouth. I did it like really fast.
And
I don't
then
think
you got
anybody
the mask
noticed.
there and you're sitting there chewing.
Yeah, yeah. I was sitting there chewing in the mask, and it was like, whatever.
Let me tell
You
you,
don't have to. Nobody is making anybody eat that way.
it's
But I
really
was
rough.
confused because I thought there was a time you were supposed to
But
take
no,
off your mask.
well, what were they gonna do?
I don't know. I
You'd
was
be like,
just confused.
That's it, sir. I'm sorry. You got all the brownies. That you're
I know,
putting
but
on
it's-
over there.
We're at 30,000
I
feet,
know.
but you gotta
You
go.
got to go. Take this parachute. You got to take a train from there.
From wherever you
In the
land.
middle of the ocean.
I know.
Well, it's really rough on the lungs to wear a mask for 24 hours straight.
I think you're the only one who has
I don't think it's rough on the
It's not
lungs.
'cause I think that's just
My
your
chest
mask.
hurt.
I think that's because your mask was wrong.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Because
so.
I didn't have that at all.
There were times though when we were walking like through the airport and I was trying to walk a little faster than I probably should have been because of my knee. but I started huffing and I was breathing the mask in like it was going into my mouth.
But what does that matter?
I don't know,
I
but
think you weren't getting. I mean, you were getting air.
yeah, but it was after that.
This style of mask is not stopping much.
No, but it was after
In the way of
that
airflow.
my chest started hurting. It felt like somebody had punched me in the sternum. It was really sore. And even today, it's a little difficult to breathe in like a deep breath. But it could have been because I choked on the plane too.
What did you choke?
What the F? What
No.
is the choking?
When did you choke?
I was drinking some tea and we had hit a bump and
We hit a bump.
we hit a bump in the
Hit a
air.
bump.
We had some turbulence.
Hit the
And-
air bumps.
I'm sorry,
You
but
hit a pretty
there
rough
are no
cloud.
bumps in the air.
Okay, we hit some turbulence and I
Hit
choked.
one of those rare air potholes.
Shut your
Over Michigan, you might have one.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Yeah,
In
so
China, you might have one of those too. Air potholes. I'm just seeing like a cloud with a.
but I did choke and I coughed for like
In
a
the
good.
plane, you're like,
Yeah.
I was coughing pretty hard. I was seeing stars. So
oh god. Okay then.
what's on your?
That's the part we missed.
Yeah.
'Cause
You really wanna
he
do
was
this?
asleep, and I was doing.
I got two things.
All right.
One comes from a comment from Jayla on the YouTubes.
All right. Let's see what Jayla's got to say.
Well, Jayla doesn't have anything to say. Jayla asked if we could talk about weight loss.
Why? Why would Jayla want us
Because
to talk about weight
apparently we sound like we know things.
loss? I know nothing about weight
I
loss.
think-
Wait, let me finish. Before you get going, because I don't want you to get going.
I'm gonna get going.
So I said, well, we don't know. We're not experts on weight loss, and we can't give any real advice on weight loss. I mean, come on, people.
Clearly, I mean,
But
I can do a voice and make it sound
we
like I know what I'm talking about.
could talk about struggling with unwanted weight. That's a thing we could talk about. But there's no medical advice there. I mean, it would just be
I'm
talking
not a
about,
doctor. I
talking
can't
about
get.
our struggle.
I don't even struggle. It's there.
Our struggle is sitting in the seats.
Okay, but I don't have.
You gotta get an extender when you get in them seats.
I had to on the Chicago to Toronto flight. Didn't have to on the Toronto to London flight because on the Chicago Toronto one, it got like right there and then wouldn't go anymore. But then on the Toronto London one, I was able to squish more.
Well,
I think the squishing is the thing you're not supposed to do.
But it's fine. I wasn't
But it's
uncomfortable,
Fine.
and it didn't leave a mark on me. It's all squish, man.
Okay, dude.
It's all just
I think
fluff.
the problem is you're not supposed to have the squish.
why not?
Why not? It's
Okay,
not
listen,
healthy.
I am so sick and
It's not
tired of this.
healthy.
Listen,
Healthy.
I'm about to get into it.
Healthy.
I'm about to get in.
I don't think there's really anything you can say because you can't refute the idea that having extra weight around the midsection is healthy. It's not healthy at all.
I have
for
been-
anybody.
Okay, wait a minute. I have been an athlete. I worked out 7 days a week.
You're
I
talking about
ate
high
right.
school.
No, even in my 20s, I did this.
Karen, that was like 100 years ago.
Can I finish, please? I have never in my life been thin.
Okay,
Ever.
nobody said anything about that.
I'm not unhealthy as far as I don't have diabetes, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have any of that. I have fat.
Right.
But that having
Isn't
fat
having fat the problem?
No, I don't have a problem with it. And if you have a problem with it,
No,
that's your problem.
No.
Medical problem.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have a medical problem.
Okay, you keep saying but in general, having a lot of fat around the midsection, isn't that a problem? Medically speaking, for
Why?
the human race.
Why?
No, don't ask me why isn't
Not-
that a problem?
No.
Are you saying that's
You're
not a
taking it
problem?
Like a social
I
thing.
thought it.
No,
I thought
I'm
it was
not.
a problem.
Listen, not everybody's body is the same. And you can't say that because you're a size 0 and I'm a size 20 that I'm unhealthy when I may eat healthier than you. I may be more active than you. I may take better care of myself than you. Just because you're 100 pounds and I'm 200 pounds,
You're not healthy.
doesn't mean I'm unhealthy.
But your BMI.
That they just actually came out saying that that's a bunch of hoo-ha.
HooHaa.
HooHaa.
Okay, I think you need to stop
Party
using
pants.
the hoo-ha.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Because hoo-ha is your word for the lady parts.
No,
So
that's
It is.
it's the demeanor.
No, it is
No,
not.
you use all of
You
them.
say
I do.
hoo-ha, so
I don't
that's
say
not.
hoo-ha,
And
I say
then
hoochie.
he gets all excited because he thinks of Busta Rhymes.
Hoo-ha.
See, see, I'm telling you.
Listen,
I don't know.
I don't have. I saw this comment.
Should people stop trying to lose weight?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
No,
Really?
but if
There's
I
a
think-
lot of people out there that
But-
are getting those medical conditions because of being overweight.
But there are also a lot of people who are struggling with mental health issues because they're constantly trying to lose weight. They have poor body image. They have poor self-esteem.
If you're a chubby child, a lot of times you might have poor body image.
Yeah, well, what if
Because-
you're not a chubby child, but then you have children and now you have a little pooch or
Well,
some,
then you're fighting a different idea.
but you
Because
have
you're looking in the mirror.
now
fighting
you're a
in the mirror.
full-grown woman and you have curves instead of being stick thin like your teenage daughter, and you're thinking, oh, now I have to lose weight, and
Well,
you're
yeah.
constantly on a battle.
Because you're
of
not
losing-
healthy if you got the fat. Isn't that right?
No,
What?
no.
What?
I like.
Our entire lives, if you were fat, you were unhealthy.
That's fine, but I'm not unhealthy.
So that's fine. I don't think that's fine.
I'm not unhealthy. I'm fat. That does not make me unhealthy. I have never been thin. Even when I was an athlete, I was never thin.
But
And I was perfectly healthy.
perfectly. Wow. That's saying a lot.
I didn't have any medical conditions. I didn't have any medical issues. I was fine, but fat. And I was athletic. I worked out. I played sports.
Okay, I don't think that's the determining factor, is it? Working out and playing sports is not. For example, you got the lineman
Yeah.
on the football team.
Uh-huh.
He is a big dude.
Yep.
He
Usually
is
300
usually
plus.
quite, definitely overweight for his height. Usually, no matter what their height is, they're usually bigger than they should be for that height.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Shaq was when he got big. So you're telling me that he shouldn't? I mean, he's working out every day,
Yep.
and he's fit enough to do the job that he's doing on the field.
Okay.
But is he healthy?
I don't know. That's up to his doctor. Him and his doctor.
That's what we're trying to get at. Is carrying that much weight healthy?
I don't know I don't know for him.
What about for humans?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
humans,
a doctor.
No, but humans have some kind of limit. It's not just everybody for themselves. I mean, it's human. It's a human thing. Like if you saw a golden retriever and its belly was dragging on the ground, actual belly, not fur, dragging on the ground, you'd be like, we gotta take care of this dog.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is not right. Or them fat ass cats that are out there.
What is that movie where the dog is on the skateboard? He's got to roll around. Is that Anastasia?
No.
No?
It's
Can't remember if it's Disney or Bluth. It might be Bluth.
Secret Life of Pets.
No, it's a 2D animated one.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of old, but he's like a wiener dog, and he's super fat, and he's got to be on a skateboard, and his little legs.
I don't know this
Roll
movie.
this.
I don't know this movie. Look it up. You got a thing in your hand.
I just think that when I saw this comment, I was super offended.
What? we should talk about weight loss. And
No.
Why?
Because
We
someone...
talk about every fucking thing else.
Okay, so...
Why can't we talk about weight loss?
Because I don't focus on weight loss. That's not my thing. I don't have a problem with my body. I'm fine with me. I don't strive to lose weight.
You should strive.
Why?
So you can be healthy.
I'm not unhealthy.
Look, you were trying to put butter on a cold ass roll.
I didn't try. I succeeded.
You ate greasy ass fish and chips. And you gonna still keep talking about some healthy?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it healthy for Aaron and Keegan?
To eat fish and chips.
Wah, 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 wah.
All I'm saying is, it is not my job. It is not my job to convince others to lose weight. It is not my job.
But that's not what we're talking
It's
about.
not
We're talking
my-
about being healthy. General health here.
I'm not a physician. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian.
So
I can tell
So
you-
you do understand that it could be unhealthy to
Well-
carry a lot of weight around the midsection.
Absolutely, it could be.
Okay.
But when I
So
saw,
you're saying it's just not you?
but when I saw the nutritionist, because I saw one within the last. See, I saw one in what?
1940.
I saw
I don't know when the last time you saw a nutritionist.
January or February. I saw the nutritionist.
You did?
Yeah,
Really?
right before we moved.
Before the COVID?
Yeah. Before COVID?
Yeah,
You
because
saw a nutritionist?
yes, at Eames.
Oh yeah, you did do that. You went to the dentist too, right?
I
Yep.
totally
Oh, yeah.
forgot about that.
I did too. And what did they say?
And she said, the things that you
Eat fish and chips.
No, she didn't say that. Nobody would tell you to eat that. That is just not good for anybody's
But you ate it.
health. What she said was, all the things that you eat on a normal basis are healthy. She expected me to say, because I'm fat, that I eat a lot of cakes.
Right.
And I eat a lot of cookies. And
Right.
I eat a lot of crap.
Right.
Which I don't. If I want to, she asked me what's my favorite snack in the evening. My favorite snack in the evening is a bowl of baby carrots and some cheddar cheese. That's my favorite thing to eat in the evening. And she expected that I didn't eat vegetables and that I didn't eat fruits and that I didn't drink water. And none of that is true.
Right.
She thought I drank lots of soft drinks. I don't. At all. We'll go months without having a soft drink. But because I'm fat, people make assumptions that I eat poorly and that I'm unhealthy. I probably eat better than the guy who runs 3 miles a day. It's just,
But he's not fat.
I don't give a shit. That doesn't make him healthy.
True.
I don't know. Is it?
I mean, look at the guy who was on The Biggest Loser. He was the coach for The Biggest Loser. And he had a heart attack
Because he was working off that fat.
at 45. And he was so healthy.
And all the people that were on the show are still alive.
Not all of them, no.
He's still alive.
He's still alive, but
Oh.
he had a heart attack. And they told him to stop running so much and stop working out so much because it was dangerous for his heart.
Every person is different.
Exactly. And
You
it's
can't have one thing be universal.
They can in China.
No.
Yes, they can.
they do.
They are working real hard at it. What are you talking about? They implemented all kinds of things with these fat ass kids coming into the school systems. They implemented all kinds of stuff because the kids are eating McDonald's and KFC
And
all
drinking Coke in their baby
Mhm.
bottles, and that's
That.
just not.
That don't even sound right.
No, little black sticks for teeth because their teeth are rotted out from so much sugar and crap.
How does that even happen? Our kids eat. We noticed the amount of sugar that were in
Ooh.
food. How come no? I've never seen an American child with black teeth.
I have.
I haven't.
I have.
Especially not in the
but
Grand
they're
Rapids.
usually super poor,
All that fucking fluoride.
and they don't have good dental hygiene. Like, the parents don't teach them to brush their teeth starting the first tooth in their mouth. When Aaron started getting little nubs of teeth in his mouth is when I started brushing his teeth.
Yeah, because you got to brush them gums, man.
Right, and brushing the gums helps the teeth come down too,
Right.
but then it gets them used to the fact that every day you brush your teeth.
Put them on schedule.
So I did some research. Apparently, the fat dog I'm talking about was from Tom and Jerry.
Oh, God. Okay.
Wow, you went back.
Yeah, I thought it was from a movie, like a Fern Gully type of movie, but it's not. It's from Tom and Jerry.
So I have no authority to talk about weight loss. I don't strive to lose weight.
I strive.
I strive to be
I
healthy.
don't do enough, but I strive. Because I am the
You have
I
really
am-
terrible body image.
well, there's that. But I have terrible body. So
You do
I
not.
have I fall into the category of the fat vegan, which is a thing.
There's
And
Okay.
I have no reason to be fat due to diet.
genetics.
But I also found out from watching some documentary that it's during your teenage years that your body kind of gets how it's going to be set
Yep.
for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
So if you were stick thin in your teenage years, your body, that's why you get people that can eat a ton.
Yep.
Like, I don't even eat that much, but
Nope.
they can eat a ton of food all throughout the day, but they never get any bigger because that mode has been set for them
I can look at a
in their
cupcake
teenage years.
and gain weight.
Right. Me too.
I don't even have to. I don't have to eat it. I can smell
And it
it.
doesn't even have to be a vegan cupcake.
I can smell it. I can walk past the bakery and my ass gets bigger. So
Which is tough in some places. Because then, your ass will end up on the ground.
it really will. But I went through a thing in high school where a friend of mine said, "Oh, if you lost 10 pounds, you'd be really cute." And I became bulimic and anorexic because I wanted to be really cute. And it got to a point where I was damaging my voice, I was damaging my teeth, and I just said enough is enough. Nothing is worth this. And I was reading something or saw something on TV where this girl was anorexic and bulimic and she died from it. And I didn't want to die. I just wanted to be cute. But even doing that, I was never thin. And I don't remember eating anything my junior year. And if I ate it, it didn't stay in for long. Because I would just go and throw it up immediately. And it was at my senior year, I was like, why am I doing this to my body? This cannot be good for me. What is wrong with me the way I am? And that's when I stopped.
Because you can't be fat.
Well, I am fat, and I'm okay with it. I know I'm not supposed to
Sounds
be
like you're in a
society,
12-step program.
right? Well,
Hello,
and
my
I
name
it's,
is Karen. Hi, Karen.
and I'm fat.
I'm fat, and I'm okay with it.
I think the problem that we have as a society, a global society,
Oh my.
is that we tell women how they're supposed to look,
Sexy.
and that's the thing.
Thick
Like
Thursday.
every woman is supposed to be stick thin, waif thin.
Nobody says
Ain't nobody saying that you
thick-
want to be a weight
Look,
thin.
look. See?
Screw that.
It's
It's
not-
Thursday.
Stop.
Thick
I'm
Thursday.
telling you from a woman's perspective, this is what we get. We see in all of our magazines, on all the TV
True.
shows,
This is
all
all
the
true.
billboards, all,
No, but that's not what
all
we're
the
saying.
mannequins are stick waifs.
Look, we know there's a difference between fat and fat.
And fat.
You know it because you said it too.
F and pH.
It's fat, and then there's PHAT.
Right.
See?
But
Y'all know.
as a white woman,
You can't be PHAT?
You cannot be PHAT.
Why?
That's a lie.
Kim Kardashian got you covered, man. You can do it now.
She's not white.
No, but I'm saying she's as white as anybody
She's
thinks.
not white.
Look, man.
She's Armenian. That's not white.
You just conflated her nationality and her ethnicity.
She's not white.
Well, Armenian is not an ethnicity.
She's still not white.
Look, man. Where's Armenia?
Middle East.
Is it?
It's
not in Europe?
I thought
It's
it
near
was-
Turkey, right?
It's not in Europe?
I'm real screwed up.
I thought it was in Europe.
South America.
No. Oh, honey, that's Argentina, honey.
Oh, Argentina. Okay.
No, I thought
It's-
Armenia is it on the...
If Turkey is the Middle East, and so is Armenia.
No, but Turkey's both.
It's both.
Nope,
Europe
that's
and
it's
Asia.
in Europe and Asia, but it's
Right.
considered the Middle East. I learned that in my research.
But it's
both.
All three.
It goes both ways. Turkey goes both ways. Especially
Anyway.
at Istanbul.
As a white woman,
That can't be PHAT.
we cannot be PHAT
I don't
if
think
we want to be with white men.
that. No, I'm just talking about
If you
can
live,
white women be PHAT, period. I'm spelling it so that I don't have to
Is
keep
that a
trying.
description that can be used for a white woman?
when
Can a
I,
white woman be on Thick Thursday?
when I was young, no,
That's true. Because back in the 80s, oh no.
no, even in the
no.
early '90s, no.
No.
You,
No, in the 90s, the white girl booty was starting to pop out there.
I
It
said
was
in the
starting-
early '90s.
It was starting to because I was at university. It was starting to happen. It was
But
one of those things
rare.
that you were riding down the
wait a
street
minute.
going,
Wait,
whoa, what the hell?
What's she eating?
What? She must have dipped into the cornbread. The
See,
grits.
see.
She-
Dipped in the comfort.
It's like where did she get that from? It's like she went out and bought it for real.
Yeah.
And then
And now they do.
by the 2000s, it was like
It was more normal.
the flat
White girl
back
booty.
butt thing was gone.
No
it was,
butt at all.
It was gone. No acetol.
Yeah.
It was gone. It was like, where did it go? And then you have, like I said, you get the Kardashian, you get the J-Lo, you get the non
But
quote
they
unquote
are
black
white.
no non quote unquote black folks with ass, with titties. Ass.
Listen, I've always had titties.
But I'm just saying that, but the white girl thing was always up
Yeah, the
into
big titties
2000s.
and no ass.
Right. And skinny.
Right. So
Pamela Anderson.
growing up, I was always viciously teased by my parents, by my siblings, by my family members about being fat. The only person in my life
F-A-T.
who never teased me about my weight was my grandmother. And my grandmother was always overweight. Always, even when...
Okay, then why do we use the word overweight?
Because I don't know. I don't know why we use that
I mean,
word.
wouldn't that seem to mean that
There
you
is
should
a
not
weight.
be that weight?
Yeah.
That you are over?
But I remember being 17 and my grandfather said something to me about my weight. And my grams looked at him and told him to stop. And she said, "You remember when we met, I was riding 11 miles a day on my bicycle to work and 11 miles home. And I would play tennis during the day. And I was her size. And you didn't have a problem with me then. So why do you have a problem with her now?" And she was the first person in my life to stick up for my weight. Because she knew I was playing soccer and I was in a musical and I worked 2 jobs and I went to high school. And it wasn't like I was some lazy sloth that just sat there and ate all the time. I've never been that person. But for whatever reason, I've always had people talk about my weight as if I'm a problem. But that's their problem.
But you're a burden on the system.
What system?
Isn't that the problem?
I'm not a a burden.
No, isn't that the problem of people that are seen as being overweight? That you are a burden on the medical and healthcare system of the country that you live in.
I don't know, because I don't go to
It
the
costs
doctor.
more for you to take care of you than it does to take care of the skinny guy with the heart attack.
Nope. Because I don't have any medical issues.
Oh, you got medical issues.
I don't take any
because,
medications.
we can do your surgeries like really?
You have to
No
get that
medical.
paper, and then it just keeps unfolding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a roll.
And you still limping.
Yo.
No medical issues. I don't know.
The reason I was offended was there were 3 of those comments. There were. I didn't.
I saw one.
There were 3 different videos, or 3 comments on the videos. They were all, and I'm assuming they were all from the same person. Just different accounts, because they were all the similar name. And they were talking about, you should talk about weight loss, you should talk about exercise and diet. Now, we're 3
Which
fat.
apparently you just did.
We're 3 fat people, and you want us to and one of them was a fitness person that had commented.
I don't know what you're talking about because I missed all that.
Go back to the videos, they're there. You'll see it in the notifications.
You don't have to go to videos.
But I was really offended, like, why...
Why fat people got to talk about weight loss?
Right. Why do you think that I should be talking about weight loss? Why do you feel like this is something that I should address when I have no professional experience? I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a medical doctor. I have no right or authority to speak about weight loss.
Okay.
I am a person. That's it.
Are you sure?
I'm a person. That doesn't give me license to talk about these things.
I'm not so sure about that last part, but we'll just move on.
If you paper.
If you want to follow the Traveling Fars, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever awesome podcasts are sold for free at the Traveling Fars. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, you can find us at Traveling Fars. If you like the email, which she checks, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, which needs to be used more, the travelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
Don't forget to become a patron
Where?
at patreon.com/thetravelingfars.
Awesome.
You get
Join
benefits.
the other patron
Yes.
in being a patron.
They're lonely and they need friends.
We need community. We
Yes.
want community.
Be a,
We want your voice to be heard.
be a part of the conversation.
Make this possible, and so I can get a new C500 mark.
Okay, listen.
3?
No.
2? Is it 2 or 3 now?
I need a C500.
No, we need a place to stay.
I know, but the patrons don't care about where we stay.
The patrons
The
are
patrons
to fund
are
the podcast.
they're funding the podcast.
The GoFundMe
Is helping us
is
live.
helping us live.
Y'all got that right.
Yeah.
So you can do both. It's
This
fine.
this podcast is made possible by viewers like you.
Oh, did you grow up on PBS?
Of course I grew up on PBS. What are you talking about?
I did see
Were you allowed to watch commercial
what was the film about the Will You Be My Neighbor?
Mr. Rogers?
No, I
No,
think the name of
I
the
think
film
it's
is Will You Be My Neighbor?
Yeah.
Or is it
Be My Neighbor.
it's something neighbor or neighborhood, I can't remember. But Tom Hanks
It's just
plays,
not Jim Neighborly.
Tom Hanks plays Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I haven't seen it yet.
You should watch that.
Okay.
It really is good. And you should watch the
Documentary about
documentary about him,
Yeah.
because if you watch the documentary first and then watch the film, then it becomes really eerie.
like how good.
I'm not
Tom
telling you.
Hanks is.
I'm not telling you. Just do it. Just do it. It's like you'll be watching going, no, what? Is he possessed?
Like, who did you say? Oh, Robert Downey Jr. as Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, he does a good job with it.
And Jamie Foxx as
Okay,
Ray.
Jamie Foxx just became Ray. That's not even a...
Also, they look
He literally becomes that man. He looks like him, he acts like him. I mean, he looks like a young Ray. Like, at the time, he looked like a young Ray.
Oh, question. Is the Joaquin Phoenix Joker the Joker for the new Batman?
I don't think the Joker's in the new Batman. The Riddler's in the new Batman. The Batman!
I don't remember the guy's name. Edward from Twilight. That Batman.
Yeah,
Robert
the
Pattinson?
Batman.
I
The
know.
Batman has the Riddler.
I know his name.
But, of course, he has a Joker. Is that Joker the Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
Why do you think he has a Joker? He doesn't. have
Batman
a
always
Joker.
has a Joker.
No, he does not.
Yes.
In the Dark Knight, he's not there. He comes in the second one, and he's gone by the third one.
That's only because Heath Ledger died.
No, the Joker is not there. He's comes in at the end of the first one,
And then is in the second.
and he's in the second one, and he's
And
not
then
mentioned
it's-
at all. The character could have
then
been
it's
mentioned. I think
Bane.
they said, if anything, he's in Arkham. No, the Joker doesn't have to necessarily be there. He could still be alive, of course, but he doesn't have to be there.
I know, but there's always a Joker. Like, even if he's not in the movie, I'm saying, is that the Joker that they're trying to tie in?
Oh, I don't know if they're trying to tie him in,
Because I thought that's what they were doing.
because they have no reason not to even... I mean, they have no reason to exclude him. It's not like he's dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was looking up the thing about Mr. Rogers.
We already did the paper. We're supposed to be going right now.
What are you talking
We're
about?
supposed to be gone.
No.
We're not even supposed to be here. It's like podcast purgatory.
Podcast purgatory.
Yeah.
How? You are not being...
Because we're supposed to.
You're not even being held
We're
down.
supposed to be gone. I am by this couch. We're supposed to be
The
gone.
couch, you are holding the couch down.
No. The couch has made it impossible for me to stand. I'm gonna have to roll off this thing.
You know there's a new Dune.
Yes, I saw
Did you see the old Dune?
No.
You probably want to do that.
Okay.
And then you probably want
I
to
saw-
watch Jodorowsky's Dune.
I saw that Jason Momoa is in the new Dune.
He is. And,
There's like four
what's
other
her
really
name?
famous people in
What's
it.
her name? Spider-Man's love interest. Zendaya?
Which one? Zendaya?
Zendaya.
Yes, her.
I think she's in it
She's
too.
in it. She's Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's in it. And
Somebody else.
there's quite a bit.
There's
You have to
a
understand.
few.
You have to understand. Picard was in the original Dune that came out in film.
Really?
Yeah, there's usually a lot of big named actors and actresses in that film because there's a lot of big parts.
I gotta
Is that
watch
all we
the
got? Is that it? That's it for today?
You're hungry, so.
That's
I
it.
am hungry
We-
because
that
my
was it
breakfast
before-
was not. Huh?
That was it before we did the paper.
What was it?
The podcast.
What are you talking about?
We're over time, man.
We're not over anything. We're under quarantine.
But
We got nothing but
We're in
time.
London, baby.
We're supposed to.
We're
do
in
the paper.
we're in London in a room that doesn't look Londonish.
It doesn't.
It looks like every
You know,
other.
it kind of does, because as soon as I walked in, I was like, this kind of looks like the room that Mr. Bean was in, and his window looked directly into the brick wall.
But it does. It looks like every other hotel room. It doesn't look special or.
Except for the gentle lavender wall, as you put it.
It's gentle.
No closet, no,
No room, no place to put a thing.
no, nothing.
It's just a bathroom and a bed.
It's actually kind of sad as far as hotel rooms go.
Yeah.
Sadder
All right.
Sadder
Well-
than Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale was a little bit bigger.
They don't even have a microwave.
And the Miami was
No refrigerator.
okay. Right?
Miami's alright.
That one has
Looks
a
like
whole
you need to
lot
go on the hunt after you order food.
Yeah.
Alright, say goodbye to people.
Bye, people.
Say goodbye to people.
What the hell was that?
Told you we were hungry.
What
And
was
she
that?
ate. She had a whole plate of food.
I didn't eat the whole plate of food.
But you had a whole plate of food.
I
You had no reason to not eat those eggs.
Yes, I did. They were gross.
Oh God, they were British eggs.
They were disgusting. They were powdered.
They were British. I'm sorry. They were English breakfast eggs.
They were disgusting.
Why?
They were cold and they were powdered.
Oh God, you and the cold things. Cold is what they are.
No.
What's the problem? They
Eggs
were
are-
warm when they came out.
The only cold egg I'm eating is an egg salad or a
Yeah.
hard boiled or
Yeah.
double. But I'm not eating cold scrambled.
The only one I'm eating are the 3 I named.
But they're all the same. It's all a hard boiled egg.
That's it. I'm out of here. I can't take no more of this. We'll try to be back next week. Hopefully we'll be in a place and we will still be okay.
Hopefully.
Peace. Get on it, man.
Again.
What we eating?
Ah!
Where the food at?
Good
We'll say that.
Lord. Oh my God, so much pain. Oh,